Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, presented by the Bank of Billings, the oldest bank in Christian County. Go to Tipton High School now and welcome in Tipton head football coach William Duke. Coach, thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Obviously, a friend of the show, been on several times. But Coach, we were touting, you know, the last couple of weeks that Marionville Thayer game may be a state championship game, and obviously it wasn't. You get a 22-14 win over a very good Thayer team. Talk to us about that game.
Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me again. I really appreciate it. Being a friend of the show is special, man. I really enjoyed that. The Thayer game was a special game. It was great to see all the support we had from administration to get down there. It was about a 4-hour bus ride, and all of the parents and community members and alumni who came together to ease that trip a little bit with food and travel expenses and stuff like that. And then the kids, what we told them is so many people came to help you through this. Really, all you need to do is focus on playing. And that's what they did. And I couldn't be more proud of them. You pick a kid on our roster and they worked their tail off all week to get to that spot. Whether they were a starter or a scout team kid, a freshman that's in his first year playing, they all worked extremely hard and they were really, really focused to get there. So, it was fun to watch.
Obviously, a defensive struggle, but tell us about the game just in general, and from the defensive point of view, and then you guys were able to push across. At 22-14, it was the final there, but it never really was over until the final gun went off.
It wasn't. We received and had a little bit of a setback by throwing an interception right away, but the field conditions were pretty tough. They were very, very wet, but none of our players ever said anything about it. They just kept playing, and we told them that Thayer was going to be a very physical football team. You could see it on tape. You could see it in the game, in the scout films that we watched. And I didn't see anybody back away from being physical. I saw them just continue to support and communicate with their teammates and get going. That front D line with Tyler Rivera and Ben Beshin and Chance and Petrie and Sam Duke, they all just got after it over and over and over again. And a lot of times being the smaller guy. But our linebackers would fill, they would wrap up. Our safeties were coming downhill. The corners were making sure that they had communication before the play to know what to do. It was really something to watch. And Thayer is a big physical football team, man. I think their only loss was to a team who played for the district title in Class 3 in Mountain Grove. So they were doing some really good things.
Yeah, coming out of that SCA, they've always been a big physical team. I've got to ask you this: had you or anybody on your team ever been to Thayer?
I had not been to Thayer. Funny enough, we were driving home from Arkansas this summer and drove right past Thayer, and I was like, "Well, I wonder if we might play here this year." But Tipton has played Thayer, and Thayer has been kind of they've been kind of the people who have ended Tipton's season a couple of times. So I did have some alumni reach out to me and just say, "Hey, thank you." That was something I had worried about or reminisced about for a while.
Yeah, we had earlier in the show we had Coach Ackland on from Mountain View Liberty, and he was a player, and then and Lamar had ended their season 7 times in a row, and they were able to get off, kind of, ding dong the witch is dead, so to speak, but had to be exciting for your kids and your community to get that victory.
100%, 100%. Yeah, it was very, very special. When we look at that and we celebrated, I could tell the kids were happy. I could also tell they were wore out because they didn't talk on the bus ride.
Very good.
There wasn't a lot of hooping and hollering. They were just wore out.
Now you've got a West Platte team. Tell us a little bit about what you know about West Platte and what you're going to have to do to come out on top, and that is actually at home for you guys. So tell us a little bit about that.
West Platte is a very good, physical, fast football team. Uh, they are different than Thayer in the sense that they're not putting three running backs in the backfield and running downhill at you, but they're still running option principles and ISO principles. The difference is they're really, really fast and they're very confident with what they do. And at any point in time, they could throw the deep ball and complete it. When you watch how much they're completing that, it's incredible how much they're completing it.
Is there a team on your schedule that you could compare West Platte to that after seeing them on film? Are there teams a team that you've played this year?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how to do it at this time of year because you're going to get everybody's best game, right? I think that Fair Grove was in a lot of spread sets, just like West Platte, and they're every bit as good as they are. Um, I think Skyline was in a lot of spread sets, and they have just as many, if not more, athletes than Skyline had, offensively, defensively. You could tell the kids are very confident in what they do. You could tell they're very athletic. I think they finished second in Class 2 boys track last year. And so you know they're good at what they do.
Coach, at what point do you kind of start looking at the weather outlook? Because it's right now it's rain with a higher near 42. The chance of precipitation is 90% right now. Are you looking at that, hoping it changes?
We talked to the kids about it. West Platte called and asked if we would move the game to Friday. Our kids would like to play on Saturday. One, we played a very physical football game last Saturday. Having a little bit of time to heal would be nice. Number two is semifinal Saturdays are a pretty special thing. Whether the sun is shining or it's raining, we can't control either of those. What we can only control is our attitude and effort and energy when we play. So, last year I thought the weather got to us a little bit when we went to Penny. Um, we've certainly discussed that this year. I don't think that it will get to us this year, knock on wood, based on their mentality from last week because the field conditions were tough last week. But, you know, we've looked at it, we've acknowledged it, but we understand we can't change it.
Again, we're visiting with Tipton Cardinals head football coach William Duke. And coach, if at 3 o'clock on Saturday when I'm reading off the scores on our live football scoreboard show, and I read that Tipton defeated West Platte, what are one or two stats that you're going to be able to tell me, hey, this is why we won this game? Whether it's turnovers, time possession, what are two things stat wise that you're looking at the most?
Well, we have to have ball security. We have to definitely protect the football. If it's going to be wet, we got to protect the football. You also have to control the line of scrimmage and do your job. Anytime you're playing an option team, you have to do what you're supposed to do. That doesn't mean don't go fast. It doesn't mean go slow. It just means if you're supposed to do a job, that's what you do so that it doesn't put somebody else in a position where they feel like they have to do too much. So securing the football, controlling the line of scrimmage, and taking the football away from them. They've been in a couple games this year that were 40 to 30, 33 to 22, stuff like that. And they've been behind a couple times and they never ever showed any kind of like give up or let it go. So I know they're going to keep fighting.
Again, it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's always good to be practicing over Thanksgiving weekend. And coach, do you have any cooking responsibilities in your house with regards to the feast?
I used to, but when we moved to Tipton here, the Catholic Church St. Andrews that I'm a member of has this beautiful all-day celebration, food, an auction, just spending time with the community. So now my cooking thing is I go pick up the food.
Very good. If I'm following you through that buffet line, what are you saving room on your plate for? What's your go-to side dish?
Well, you're gonna think this is funny, but my go-to side dish is gonna be pumpkin pie.
No.
I'm gonna get some stuff to eat, but I'm probably as I get older gonna limit the stuff that I'm eating there so I can have more pie.
Outstanding. And also with it being Thanksgiving, reflect, what are you reflecting on, whether it be this year, or maybe even this week or your life, that things that you are thankful for?
Well, first and foremost, a relationship with Christ. I'm thankful for that every single day. I don't know where I would be without it, to be honest with you. And there's times that gets tough, and there's times that you doubt that you're doing the right thing, or that relationship is what it should be, or that your belief sometimes wanders, and I got to get better at that. So first and foremost, I'm thankful for that. My family, they're always supporting me no matter what I do or how crazy I sound. My mother recently kicked cancer's rear end, so I'm very happy for that. And then this community, not just my family and my parents and everybody else, but this team and this community just means the world to me. And if I could get to practice any sooner, I would. It's just a great part of my day.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, you've been very generous with your time, a friend of the show, and hey, go out and get another victory, and we'll do this again next week.
It sounds great, Coach. God bless. Have
Hey,
a great
God
day.
bless. Bye bye. You're listening to Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com. It's high school game day. Countdown to kickoff. We'll be back after this.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?
You got this, buddy.